Hello and welcome back to King's Quest 6. We're getting ready to head over to the Isle of the Sacred Mountain and see what we can figure out there.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Alright, so here we are. Isle of the Sacred Mountain. We've got a little beach and not much else really. But there is this inscription on the mountain here.
There appears to be something etched into the face of the cliff. Alexander decides to get closer. The rock has been etched by some unknown hand. One may need to read about the logic cliffs in the Guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles in order to understand this mystical inscription.
Oh, the Guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles. Well, it would help if we had that, wouldn't it? Well, actually, if you were to buy the game, back whenever it was released, you would actually have the Guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles. It's not an object that exists in the game, it's an object that exists in the box of the game in the real world. It's just a guidebook that gives you some backstory on the Land of the Green Isles, and it's actually quite interesting, quite an interesting read. But inside of it, it contains some backstory on the Logic Cliffs, which is this huge cliff we see here, and the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. And it gives you the answers to the puzzles that you encounter on this cliff. This was actually the form of copy protection that Sierra used for King's Quest 6, and it was actually very good copy protection back when scanners and digital cameras and the internet, bulletin boards, forums, back when those things never even existed. It wasn't very easy to get a copy of the guidebook if you didn't actually own it yourself. Of course, now that's kind of flown out the window, and it's very easy to gain copies of these manuals and things without actually having to buy the game. But anyway, these are the logic cliffs, and to solve them you have to look up the answers to the puzzles in the guidebook. But I know, for a couple of them I already know by heart, and then a couple more I'm going to use the copy protection compendium available at sierragamers.com to get through them. So
There appears to be something etched into the face of the...
Right. Okay. This first one, there's a sentence in the guidebook. I forget exactly what it says, but it has the word rise, R-I-S-E, capitalized in it. And so if you push R-I-S-E on those lines...
Huge blocks of stone erupt from the granite cliffs. Alexander stares with wonder. That's quite a way to welcome a guest, if indeed it is a welcome.
And there you go.
There's nothing of interest there.
My icon got frozen on the crown for some reason. There's something funny that you can actually do here. See how Alexander kind of...
Oh no, Alexander loses his balance.
Whoa! Ow! Hey!
He yells at you for making him fall down. It's actually pretty hilarious.
Oh no, Alexander...
Whoa! Ow! Hey!
I think if you do it several times...
Oh no.
Whoa! Hey! Quit making me fall!
I love it. It's so awesome. Alright. No more of that. Logic cliffs always kind of freaked me out as a kid because I was always afraid I was gonna accidentally click in just the wrong spot and he would fall and I'd die horribly. Because if you click, I think it doesn't happen until you get to this screen, but it might happen like higher up on the first screen. If you click in the wrong spot, he actually falls and dies.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff.
Alright, now, there's another sentence in the guidebook that says a master of languages will soar. S-O-A-R. Soar. But you have to spell out soar using these symbols, which are kind of like an alphabet of the ancients. And the first symbol, looking at my guide, is this little thing. And the second one is this. And this one is A. And R is that one.
The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
That would freak me out. Climbing up these cliffs in real life. Whew. Alex is a braver man than I am. I could never do that. Not a fan of heights, I am. Alright.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff.
Let me see
Nothing
first.
happens.
Yeah. Now these...
Alexander
Trying to remember what... There's a riddle that goes along with these. It tells you in the order to... It tells you the order to push them. And I'm trying to remember what it is. I think...
The stone
There you
beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
And if you push the third one from the left, the stone beneath you. Actually, I should show you that because that's kind of funny.
Alexander gets the feeling that was the wrong button.
Oops!
Tickets up. Next. What a riddle. Stones of stealth. Find a guide to keep your health.
Guide being the guidebook, of course. Yeah, I just think that's kind of funny because it's the
Alexander
suspended gravity kind of thing. Alright, so what was it? Yeah. No.
Nothing happened. Alexander
Dun, dun, dun.
The stone beneath
Alright. Okay. Up we go! Into the wild blue yonder. I love the little music that plays when you walk up the stone. Alright.
Alexander
Here we have another alphabet puzzle. Well, sort of. The Sacred Four. The Sacred Four are four different things that are sacred to the ancients who made these glyphs. There are four different... one's a color, one's a precious stone, one's an animal, and one is like an emotion or one of those non-physical things like not all emotions. Some are emotions like grief or joy, and some are more of well, joy's not really an emotion either. But some are like more abstract things like joy or humility, things of that nature. And I'm trying to remember, because I don't have them written down. trying to remember what the four were. One of them is tranquility, I know, and that's this castle-looking thing. I don't think you have to do them in order. One of them is this one, I believe. And one of them, I'm looking on the list here, trying to remember what they were. One of them, I believe, gosh, I can't remember. This is that's kind of embarrassing. No, it's not those. Crap. All right.
Nothing happens.
Give me a second. I'm gonna cut the video and I'll find these answers and I'll be right back. Sorry. Just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I found the list of items in the King's Quest Companion. So I'm going to use that. Match it with the Copied Protection Compendium to get through this puzzle.
Alexander
I'm actually kind of surprised I couldn't remember. I usually do. But Tranquility is one of them, like I thought, and it's this one. And then we have Heir, the color Azure, and the Caterpillar. I thought about the Caterpillar, but I wasn't sure. And that one's Heir, I think, isn't it? Yeah, Heir. And the color Azure, which is... I just saw it a second ago. That one, the face.
The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles
close.
as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
It was like halfway there. Alright, up we go. Kind of think about the dizzying height that you're at right now. It's, yeah, not a very comforting thought. And save. Alright.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff.
All silent cry the noble boulders. This is pretty much exactly the same as the first puzzle. You push the letters in the right order. Except this time, the word is ascend.
The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, hush up. Stop almost falling. And there we go.
Alexander finds himself Finally, at the top of the cliffs. Exhausted, he steps over the lip of the plateau and stands.
Why do you make such an effort to climb the cliffs, young man? The winged ones who live on this island have the power of flight. You could have it too, if you'd only eat a berry from this magical flying nightshade bush. See? The sweet berries will make you float like a petal on the wind. Try some.
Nightshade. Oh, I heard of nightshade before.
But who are you, matron?
Who cares? I mean, I am only a poor old woman who wishes you well, handsome stranger. Think of me as your grandmama, if you like.
Yeah.
Come.
I don't think so. Nightshade, in case you are not familiar with it, is a rather poisonous bush. So we're not
Young
gonna
man,
worry
you
about that.
offend me. I try to help you and you insist on being rude. All right then, stay tied to the ground like a load of lead. See if I care. You human.
How odd. The old woman just disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Perhaps those berries are even more powerful than she led Alexander to believe.
Look, an intruder! Hold! How did you get up here, human?
I climbed the cliffs.
That is not possible. No one has solved the cliffs of logic in several centuries, and if the cliffs were to be solved, it would certainly not be by a human.
I didn't mean to trespass. I only wanted to visit this beautiful island.
No visitors have been welcome on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain in years. Not since the Red and White Queens had spies in the guise of friendly visitors steal our island's sacred golden fleece. But we will not display such foolish trust again. You will have to answer to Lord Azure and Lady Ariel. They will determine what will be done with you. I can assure you, it will not be pleasant.
Didn't the Red and White Queens say that something had been stolen from them? By the Beast, I think it was? On the Isle of the Beast?
With what trickery did you master the cliffs of logic and reach the city of the winged ones?
Only the magic of clear thought, my lord.
And a
I meant
guidebook.
no harm.
The cliffs of logic. It is the sacred oracle's prophecy, Azure.
Yes, Ariel. It is lucky for you, human, that climbing the cliffs of logic is part of a prophecy that I cannot ignore. We have just been ordered by Wazir Al-Hazred himself to dispose of any strangers that might land on our fair isle. But the
really?
prophecy would have a different fate befall you.
The prophecy predicts that whosoever climbs the cliffs of logic will defeat the Minotaur. The Minotaur has violated our sacred catacombs and eats our young in sacrifice. Our own daughter, Lady Celeste, was taken there only this morning as his most recently demanded offering.
A dilemma, then. Whom shall I obey in regards to your fate? The oracle or the crown? But since Al-Hazred did not dictate how I was to dispose of intruders, and since you cannot possibly survive the catacombs, your
Well, thanks.
imprisonment there should serve both purposes quite admirably.
I will not resist you in this, my lord. I shall do my best to save your daughter.
First, I must tell you that the catacombs are a labyrinth of rooms, a place of exceeding danger. You will need many tools and clear wits to survive it.
I am ready.
Very well. My guards will take you there now. You seem courageous enough, but the catacombs will determine how brave you really are.
Why did you tell Lord Azure you were ready and willing to face the catacombs? No one is ever ready, and only a fool could be willing.
And you are far wiser, I suppose, to leave a maiden to die? To not fight this plague on your own people?
Bravery and suicide are two different things, human. You will have a chance to renounce your choice soon enough, when you lay trembling under the Minotaur's hooves.
We shall see. Thanks for the escort.
We only escort you to your death. May the fates make it quick so that you do not have to scream long.
Ugh.
The catacomb's entrance door is locked from the outside by the Winged One's guards. It seems that leaving the catacombs by that door is not an option.
Well, that's rather unfortunate. Alright, so we have found ourselves trapped in these catacombs, at least until we can find another way out. An interesting thing about this situation is that if there are a few things that you will need to survive the catacombs, and if you do not have at least one of those things, or if you do not have one or more of those things in your inventory when you meet Lord and Lady Azure and Ariel, then instead of Alexander saying that he's ready to enter the catacombs, he'll actually ask for some time to prepare, and then the guards will fly you. I think they fly you back down to the beach, and then you can go and get whatever you need and come back. Of course, there's really no way to know what you need, but if you do happen to have all of it with you at the time you meet them, then you will just go straight into the catacombs. So I do have everything that I need. There's no map in the game, but there is a map in the guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles. It's not well marked as a map, but it is one. And this map also exists in the King's Quest Companion, which is what I'm going to use to get through here. So we start here. We're going to go north first.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
That's not very comforting. Alright. I think if you stand around too long, although I've never had it happen to me, so I'm not sure, but I think if you stand around too long and just not do anything, the Minotaur comes and greets you by extinguishing your life. So we're not going to do that.
A lone skull lies on the ground among the skeletons. Where the skull came from is a mystery, since the other remains seem to have their skulls intact.
Interesting.
Alexander picks up the skull.
Sorry. Oh, and by the way, there are several rooms in the catacombs that are deadly to you if you enter them.
As he walks through the doorway, Alexander gets a very bad feeling about this room.
Tickets up. Next.
Don't just wonder, Alexander. Let your conscience be your guide.
Guide, as in guidebook. Ah ha ha ha.